Are you saying that we have to get into a flow by me hugging you?
Hug me. What if
So
Nirvana
is
did
the
a remix like "Rape Me" that song, but it was "Hug Me," and we did it for this?
rate me?
Yeah, but "Hug Me."
I know. You know what? This is already a much better episode that we're coming up with already.
Oh, we gotta make up for how bad this episode kind of is.
It's called a hug, and there's no hugging.
I didn't see one.
There's
hug.
not one
I
hug.
didn't see one hug in this
Nope.
episode.
I don't even think there's music. So I
should've
have no hugging, no music. I have nothing.
It should have been called "Handshake."
Yeah, shake me.
Shake me! Yeah, I like that
see?
one, dude. Okay. All right, well, dude, let's fucking.
How can we come up with something better in the first 3 minutes than what they have done in an entire hour?
Dude, no commercials on this one. They want us to power through it, like you said. They want
All
us
right,
to power through
you
it.
guys are just gonna have to go.
All right, just run through it. We are here. Somebody Save Me podcast. Two nerds back again. Episode 11 of season 1.
Just get to it. Just get to it.
Hug. We're opening up to Metropolis. This was Metropolis, right?
Oh my god. Okay, I'm
do we
going
have?
to assume this was. I had to rewind this scene because I didn't know what was going on the first time around.
If you really think about it, this does not seem like Smallville at all.
No.
This whole opening is strange. We're opening up on some guy who looks like a CEO's son who maybe played dress up for today.
I was gonna say, did they pick up a homeless man off the street? Did they run out of actors and said, "Hey, who can play this type of role? Tim, sound guy, get in here."
Look, dude, it's the CEO's son. He probably goes to Metropolis University. He was like, "Hey, you need to up your game, get some internships going. Go run my office for a second." And his name's Paul Hendricks.
And we have our first introduction of also the villain here, the sleazy Mr.
Rickman.
Where now Paul is discussing how I guess that his pesticides company pollutes the water.
Oh
and
my
Paul
God, dude.
is now investigating because he's a part of the environmental community that does this type of research to protect the water and says you're going under investigation. Stay out of Smallville.
Now, was it just me, or does this guy just have that face you just want to punch?
Which one?
Both.
I was gonna say,
but
I mean,
especially Bob Rickman here.
Well, the problem is, too, is that Rickman even tries to be that slimy sales guy and tries to do that type of charm and even the smile. Joseph, there's zero charm and the smile is gross.
By the way, that's what I called him this episode, Charm. Because there was nothing better. I wasn't going to call him Mr. Hug.
Well, actually, that would have been... No, Mr. Shake would have been better.
Mr. Shake?
Mr. Shake.
Mr. Agree with me right now?
Mr. Hold my hand. Take my hand. Just take it.
Use my small hand. It's my strong hand.
I don't want that hand. Give me your other one.
Bro, this man, dude, this guy wouldn't get away in our COVID era today, okay? No one's going to shake his hand.
So essentially now, Rickman and Paul are going back and forth saying that Rickman is saying, I guess there's no way I can change your mind. I guess I'm screwed because you're now putting a restraining order against me so I can no longer go to Smallville. Because Paul is coming after him hard. Because there are 96... is it 96?
96, yeah.
Is it
pesticide cases, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Poisoning of the chloride or chlorine.
Okay,
whatever.
thank you. It was so ridiculous. Again, I had to rewind it here.
Mm-hmm.
So now, obviously, he says, okay, there's nothing I can do. Goes over and Paul, take my hand. Why would you ever touch this man?
Yeah.
I would have no reason to shake your hand. I think you're a scumbag.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, he shakes his hand. Paul now is under some type of trance.
Yeah, a little persuasion spell. What do you want to call it?
AKA, this is Purple Man, but yet I have to touch you in order to convince you.
I will say, I did like those vibes. It's like, okay, like little whispers. Little whispers make you do what I want.
But he's so bad.
Yeah.
He's so bad at the character where you don't buy into him, and instead you're like, get Rickman out of my face.
Well, see, that's the thing. Remember, he's a salesman or some type of business guy, and his backstory, we're going to get into that. Because yeah, I don't buy it either. He sucks.
He sucks. He's the worst. You would never ever make a sale unless he had some type of touching ability that would convince me. Well, lo and behold.
Yeah, and so he touches Paul, basically convincing him, yeah, all that pain you feel deep down, I'm sure you want to just make it stop, right?
Well, he said none of this is yours.
Yeah,
he's
none
like,
of this
look at
is
this. None of this. You don't even have a piece of this.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, you give it to me, give it to me or something, or maybe just get rid of yourself.
Does he ever tell him though to jump in this part?
No,
because that was my only other problem. Is he comes down the elevator. I thought he was actually going to tell this woman something.
I thought so too.
No, he just gets into an elevator because he's a swell type of guy.
Yeah, going down?
Yeah, he's now making a phone call saying, "Don't worry, we're going to Smallville." And then he comes crashing down by the man named Paul.
Yeah, Paul, obviously, Bob gets down to the first floor. We're going to Smallville. And then, but dude, you saw where he started, 31st floor. This guy, Paul, would splatter. Look at him. He even moves like he's still alive afterwards as he crashes down.
I think also my biggest issue is, okay, that's like bulletproof glass up there. You know that inside of that type of building, Paul is not getting how to get
and you're not
glass.
even able to open those windows. You know what I mean? Like,
there is no way. They are completely sealed. It's a safety precaution, especially because I don't want to bring this up, Joseph, but this was after 9/11.
Oh.
So there's no way in hell he is getting out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he would literally splatter. Yeah, he would wreck the car, the taxi he landed on, but no, he's going to splatter, bro. Like, we need to see head explode probably. Just some type of blood.
I truly thought it was like an iRobot thing where there was just no way he could do it. And it's Will Smith throwing the chair up against it. And he's like, see?
Yeah.
I told you.
Even The Departed, bro. Remember when they throw the captain off the building? What was that, like 7 floors at most? Splattered when he landed on the ground.
Oh, you mean he didn't move? He didn't do a little nudge saying, I got to get comfy.
31 floors is crazy.
Oh, God, that was so rough.
All right. So after that, we were discussing during the intro song, we are opening up on the forest scene, if you want to pause it here real quick, because I
love this scene.
We have a horse ride.
I love this scene so much.
Why do you love this scene?
It's Chloe, because Chloe is now showing the awkwardness of her not being able to ride the horse, where Clark and Lana are like, look at the loser behind us. So they're essentially just laughing at her, while Clark and Lana are pretty much just chatting it up, except one issue. What is the first thing Clark brings up?
Whitney.
You already gave him his lady back. You don't need to keep bringing him up now, Clark.
Dude.
We can move past this and we can talk about other things. Let's make fun of Chloe instead.
Why did Chloe third wheel this event today?
Oh, wait, they're all friends now.
Yeah.
They're all friends now. Come
bro.
on. Actually, I think the better question is, why wasn't Pete invited?
Because he sucks, bro. I've been trying to tell you this. Look.
If you talk shit about him one more time, I swear to God, not in this episode, because in fact, you're now contributing to them three, meaning, why are you asking why they're there? You would do the same because you wouldn't invite Pete.
I would pull the race card here in this scene, but Lana is obviously half, like, what is it? Japanese, Korean, I don't know.
I didn't know that. I wasn't getting into that. I wasn't even going to take a wild guess.
Hey, man, I was just going to say, I would, like, when I was first watching, I was like, yeah, like, maybe we're throwing the race car here, but no, maybe it's just they didn't like Pete today.
Maybe Pete doesn't know how to ride a horse. Why can't you just go with that instead of bringing up a race car?
Remember in Django, they were looking at black people on the
horse? That's not
maybe he didn't want to freak all the farm people out, dude.
Oh my God. So, all right, you know what? I'm moving on from there.
That's fine.
Okay. Where now Lana is explaining, since when does Whitney's family have a store? Since when does Whitney have to take care of this store? Where did this store come from, Joseph?
It really came out of nowhere. They just like slightly hinted at it over the past couple episodes. Like even last episode, they mention it briefly because he has to help out. That's why he's not able to finish homework. He has to help out at the store because that's his business.
That's just because his dad was sick. I don't remember ever having a store brought up. I don't remember the store. The store seems like it was thrown in there to give Whitney an excuse for not being in scenes and for being a crappy boyfriend.
Look, okay, fine, whatever. But let's just talk about what we didn't talk about is the fact that we're Beanie Boys and we got Beanie Girls.
Ooh.
Beanie Girls, bro.
And now Clark is not a part of any of the Beanie Club. Instead, he's just wearing his red jacket, thinking he's better than everybody.
He's not even cold.
He's. Oh, that's a valid point.
He's
Actually,
not
I didn't
even
think about
cold,
it. No
bro.
wonder he's not wearing the jacket. So the funniest part about this scene, though, and also why I love it, because you're like, why do you love this, Taylor? Come on, Chloe runs up with the horse, finally gets control of it. Oh, I dropped my camera. Nobody gives a crap.
No. Where was the camera? I didn't see it drop. I didn't hear it
drop. She dropped
drop.
it probably like a mile ago. But
Then is she an idiot for just now noticing?
No, she was trying to control the horse first. I'm not blaming Chloe, and in fact, I'm blaming Clark.
Oh, that beanie's just suffocating her head, dude. She's like the brain power is just not working today.
I'm actually with Clark though too, where why would you even bring that? But then she brings up saying
That's
about
true.
the scene. The problem though is that who is the one that offers to go and get the camera?
Lana.
Why? Because Clark is doing what exactly?
Just trying to help Chloe, I guess.
What? No.
Maybe just bashing on her. Yeah, idiot, why'd you bring your camera? Now you have someone going to get it.
He's being what I like to call a Jonathan. He's acting like he's doing something, except he's doing nothing, and he's making the woman do everything.
Yeah. Okay.
How dare him?
Okay, so before we get into it, I want to mention their conversation, Lana and Clark. Of course, talking about just trying to, again, it's really like, I'm trying to find our place in life, what I want to do. What do you want to do, Clark?
You gonna bring up the flying thing right now?
Of course,
oh,
dude.
God.
I just don't want to put on a suit and, fly all the time. That's exactly what you'll be doing.
That had no context to their conversation.
What
What would he be doing? What would he be doing that requires the suit and flying around, Joseph?
A travel agent?
A travel agent. You know what? You don't want to be a pilot? You don't want to go to NASA? What? It made no sense, and that's what my biggest problem was with him saying that. We're just gonna throw in a little Superman tidbit for the fans.
Phew, put
You
it right
think I'm
there.
not gonna notice? Give me flow. Don't just throw it in there.
That's true. I mean, I get your point. Because last episode it flowed more.
Yeah,
It definitely flowed
exactly. If you're gonna have those little tidbits, make it make sense.
Yeah.
Don't just throw out. If he said that to me, I'd be like, why would you even say that? What are you planning on doing?
more. Huh? What? Clark?
What?
What if they were just like, damn it, he must be high today or something?
Is that what he's doing?
Yeah. it's
No
like,
wonder he didn't wear a beanie.
like, Clark, what the hell are you talking about?
As Lana then turns around, we see that there is another peeping Tom in the woods. Of course, there is always a peeper. Out of 11 episodes, there has been 3 with peepers.
It's Creeper Kyle.
Either way, there's always somebody watching Lana, at least behind a closed door or through the woods. But now we have where Clark is asking Chloe about why would you even bring that camera that they lost, and then we're having the explanation of Kyle.
Yeah.
Where now they're talking about that it's the big weirdo who lives in the forest who builds statues.
Crappy statues,
Or
apparently.
sculptures,
Yeah.
whatever. And so I don't understand why they're talking about an incident where a group of screaming, what is it, Rickman Industries,
Yeah.
come out screaming, and, oh, who do you suspect did that? Chloe. Well, I thought it was Kyle. I wonder why you expect that when he's the only guy who lives there.
Right.
And it makes zero sense to me. I hate this episode so much.
I remember writing in my notes as I was watching, I was like, yeah, this episode already kind of sucks.
It was already that the moment he said, oh, the guy who is making sculptures in the woods?
Yeah. Yeah. And then I don't get this part. They hear a scream.
Oh.
It's clearly Lana, but when we go to her,
No. This is the worst part. So, Chloe, who could not control her horse, Clark hears the scream, gets off of the horse, and then it's like, oh, I have to go. Here, Chloe, take the reins. Okay, Chloe lost one of those horses. And Chloe probably may have broken an arm because her horse flung her off. This was a bad idea.
hey, I saw you having trouble with your horse. Here's mine now. I'll be right back.
By the way, hey, Chloe, turn around, and I'm going to run really quick, and you're not going to be able to see. We're not going to ask questions about it. I'm just going to say, oh, it's a Clark thing.
Yeah, she hears him too.
And look, just turn around, nothing, gone. And now, Joseph, can you explain
Yeah.
this situation with Kyle and Lana?
This is what I'm talking about. So we get to hear, and we heard the scream, right?
Yes.
And of course, they are going to explain in a bit that she fell off her horse. Her horse freaked out.
I don't even
and she
believe
fell
that.
off her-
I don't even believe that.
And I mean, it's okay and valid, I guess, that she does scream. Imagine being on the horse and like, ah! You're about to be thrown off or something. But why is she passed out? Why is she passed out? And what was Kyle doing? Just like He was just gripping her arms and just looking at her.
From Scream to Clark running over there for how quick Clark is, according to, few weeks back, or was it last episode? I forget because it was such a bad scene of him dodging all the bullets from going back and forth. Or I'm sorry, just
Rogue.
the one bullet
Rogue.
where it was Rogue and he was looking at it from each side.
He was juking the bullet.
He would have been able to get there faster than she was done screaming.
Yeah.
For her
And
then
also-
to fall off the horse. Where's the horse? How did Kyle get there quick enough?
How did he leave quicker than this man?
Well, also, let's not use X-ray vision again. Let's not use it, Joseph, because it makes too much sense to use it when somebody runs away and I can no longer find them. I don't have an ability to be able to see them. Clark, you dumbass. Even though I don't think he uses X-ray vision one single time in this episode.
No, he does.
He does?
I think he does.
Damn it! I was gonna,
Hey, hopefully I'm
like,
wrong. Hey, I might be wrong and shit. You'll probably win this argument. Who
I was
knows?
gonna say, like, well, maybe this was one of the filler episodes, because this is filler Tuesday.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that they may have, like, placed, and they go, oh, no, this doesn't work here at the beginning of the season. Let's move it over here.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Clark Kent. I'm 14 years old. I'm an idiot.
And now he picks up Lana. So, again, her being able to be passed out in that quick a time, it doesn't make any sense. Where then you see the video camera. Is this his video camera or Chloe's video camera?
Also, was this the trail? Because this looks like a random piece of the forest.
Where's the horse?
You saw the trail, right? It had literally tire tracks and stuff.
How did she get up? Whose camera is this? And why do we only have the beginning? Why do we only have after the Lana's falling on the ground part when it comes to the video footage?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Whose camera is this?
Dude, apparently it's Chloe's. Apparently it's Chloe's.
It just doesn't make any sense. And now, unless they're saying that it fell off the horse when Lana picked it up and then it turned on.
No,
Is
that
that
would
what
be
they're
dumber.
really saying? So
I
then
could
it
see
opened perfectly and then it pressed record.
No, I could
That's
s-
what they're saying.
Maybe that's what they're saying, but I assume, or I'm just going to buy this part, an assumption that Chloe was recording, horse was freaking out, so she's like, and then dropped the camera. And it was still recording.
So you think that she was recording herself, like she's a selfie whore?
Yeah. She's on a third wheel date right now.
Well, wait, no, you're talking about Chloe did that, not Lana? I thought you meant like Lana was doing that on her way back.
Chloe found your camera. I get scared.
Oh my god, I passed out.
Yeah, fucking flash goes on and the horse freaks out. It was all Lana's fault.
That would make so much sense.
And so after that, basically Kyle ran away and
Clark wasn't able to see, picks up the camera, and now we're flashing to the Ken home.
Ken home, and we were watching the recording, and it looks like they can't figure out what the hell happened. John being actually normal again in this episode.
Jonathan is a very normal human being in this episode. I love me some Jonathan in this part because I just think Jonathan is like rewinding the tape like how I would. Yeah, what do you think happened?
Yeah, you literally
What do
looks
you
like
think's
Clark's
going
like, so Clark, what do you think about the guy?
Yeah.
Did anything happen? All right, how about you stop worrying about it?
Yeah. Hey, Clark, go outside.
I have to do chores, Clark. You brought me inside for this?
No, he doesn't. He has to demand Clark to do the chores for him because he can't do something.
Dude, it's his house.
I know. You see, this is what I hate. All right. So now we have Martha, who's just getting off the phone with Nell. And
Dude.
what type of reaction is this? And
No wonder John left you, Nell.
Exactly. Talk about crazy. And here's the thing. Is Kyle have a record of doing things with people, and that's why
No.
Nell's freaking out?
People
'Cause
are just
otherwise-
weirded out by him.
Okay.
For no reason.
Just because he lives in the woods does not mean that he should go down for something he didn't do. Nell might as well have said, tell them that he tried to get her and kidnap her and tie her up. That's what Nell's reaction is.
Nell has some weird prejudice with Kyle. I don't know what it is. Maybe she has against hermits. She has something against hermits or something. No, I don't know.
Lonely men.
Either
because
way,
she sees herself in them. Well, the good news is that Clark is not going to say that because that's not who he is, where he saw a different type of thing. Of Kyle actually looking like that he was helping Lana, so he's not going to be able to lie to the police on Nell's behalf.
Mm-hmm.
He's now telling his parents, look, it's understandable that a guy like this would have people go after him because he's hidden himself, to your point of being that hermit, so now everybody thinks he's the big weirdo. So Clark He feels bad because in a way he could see himself in this situation if he didn't have his parents and he was a salesman and he ended up being a loser. I don't know why Clark actually feels bad for Kyle. I really don't. I don't see how you see yourself in this guy. You have no connection except I just want to help a lonely person.
Well, he's being your typical, protagonist and, I guess...
Too much of the hero. Like what I said with the nosiness of you doing that with Whitney and the medicine. You're going too far to be the hero.
But that's the classic little
it's
TV
too
trope,
much.
bro. I mean, it happens even in animes, bro.
You get yourself in these situations. Get yourself out of these situations. Just go horseback riding with Lana. Leave Chloe at home this time
also,
around.
We are on a weekend, right? This is the weekend, I assume, because they had the early horse trail in the morning.
I'm not saying that.
They go home.
I'm not saying that.
And then, because he's wearing the same sweater when he goes to see Kyle.
I'm not saying that.
It has to be a Saturday.
You know what? I don't know the timeline yet. I'm not going to say that it's a weekend. I cannot do this because I think in the next day is in Whitney. You know what? We're going to get to it. This is why we're going to get to it.
All right, so now after the Kent house, when Clark leaves to Kyle's, we are at the Rickman party office because he's running for something?
No, he's not running for anything, and that's what I was confused about. So I thought okay, so is Rickman now a politician?
Yeah.
I thought that he was doing like Rickman Industries, which is what this is. This is a launch party, it seems, for Rickman Industries for them now making their way into Smallville. Like it's a welcome party for them.
Yeah.
That's what I got out of this, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And also, why isn't Rickman the scummy politician?
Yeah,
that would be a better storyline.
It would have been much better because then really the villain name, Charm, if that's what we're going to go with. Or what do we go with? What are we going with?
I don't know.
Mr. Charm?
I was going to go with Shake. Mr.
See,
Shake
he's not even shaking. If you're going to give Shake to someone, that's going to be Jitterbug. Boy.
Fine, then I'm calling him and I put in my notes, touch me.
Mr. Touch?
Mr.
Touch?
We'll go with Mr. Touch.
I like Mr. Touch.
All right.
That's cool.
All right.
Because really, he just needs to touch them.
It sounds better than touch me.
Somebody touch me? Is that our podcast name for today? Our show is now called Somebody Touch Me.
After dark.
After hours. Naughty boy hours. So yeah, at this little welcome party, we have a glimpse of Victoria Hardwick, our only scene with her this episode. And
good.
Why is she here? Why is she here?
Because she's planning on sleeping with Rickman, so that she can now tear down another business tycoon. And in all honesty,
you're probably right.
That's really what I think. I'm not even trying to make a joke here. I think it's her always getting in on these type of guys because she thinks that she can always manipulate them into doing what she wants, a.k.a. Mr. Luther.
But she doesn't even have the power. She's Mrs. Touch, dog.
Oh, that's true, too.
And so we obviously have Lex come in, walk in. We have Lex come in. Hello, Bob. They clearly know each other. And look, he tries to immediately shake his hand.
What I love is that Lex never wants to touch this man.
Oh, dude. And I love that. Lex, dude, if I don't like you, bro, I'm not even going to try to even look at you, bro.
And at this point, too, I wish that Lex, even though he would never do something like this, I wish somebody would go up to me like, dude, I'm a germaphobe. I don't want to touch your hand. Stop asking me to touch your hand, all right?
Yeah, it's really weird. Like I said, he wouldn't survive in COVID era, bro.
That's why it would have been great if he just went around and said, touch.
Touch?
Touch?
That's like his only vocabulary.
Touch.
Touch. Lex, touch. Victoria, touch. Mama, touch. And so Lex just absolutely shits on this man right now, though.
Oh my god, and he thinks that it's once again another individual who thinks they have the upper hand on Lex, where it's I'm smarter than you. But it's because he thinks that with him being able to have his ability of him moving in on Lex's territory, which is what this is kind of about.
Right.
Where Lex, in a way, is saying, what the hell are you even doing in Smallville? This is my home now. Rickman makes the little shot at him saying, oh yeah, didn't your father...
banished you over here.
He banished you to Smallville. And Lex is now kind of explaining to him, no, Smallville is my home now. I'm looking out for it from people like you.
Mm-hmm. And dude, how does everyone know about this pesticide thing, and how is he still relevant? You know what I mean? Like, because even Lex comes here, oh yeah, you're gonna make this place uninhabitable. I know all about your pesticides. Like, everyone knows about this.
Well, no. That actually, I don't mind that because it's the same thing. Joseph, if an investigator, anybody comes up to him, you know what? You're exactly right. Shake my hand. Oh, touch. That, that's exactly what would be happening. And so, no matter what, even if you know about how big of a... That's why he's the worst. That's why he is just awful, because he just allows people to know that he is the scumbag of the century.
Oh, for
but
sure.
He doesn't do anything to hide it. Instead, he just keeps saying, touch.
Believe in Mr. Touch.
I would, oh my lord, if somehow he had an advertisement for that where he had a product and that's what it was called, it was, oh man, they should have done something along the lines.
Dude, that would have been great. So, basically, Bob here is trying to go over his plan, his agenda, and that's, to buy pretty much any piece of land so he can expand all that stuff. And
What's the problem? What's the problem?
He wants the Kent land. He wants the Kent farm. And what does Lex tell him? Like, yeah, you're not going to be able to get that.
Lex immediately laughs at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Idiot. Because, dude, it's awesome because you forget about it. Lex has tried to help them technically buy their land, buy their farm, whatever. And he knows if I can't get it, you're definitely not going to get it.
Except he just doesn't have the magic touch like some people do.
That's true. And so after that, Lex leaves, and obviously Bob is contemplating, oh yeah, I'm going to get this farm. So we come up to Clark showing
Nosy
up.
Rosie.
Yeah, Mr. Clark. It's nighttime, and he is showing up to the trailer of Kyle, I assume is Kyle. The viewers will assume it's Kyle.
Where Clark is looking through the window, you see the peep show behind the trees. And obviously, to your point, everybody assumes it's Kyle. Kyle somehow sneaks up behind him where you don't even hear him.
You're trespassing.
And Clark is like, oh, how did you even do that? I do like this response, though. See, this is what I mean, that some things do fit in this show.
Right.
AKA, it's magic. Well, Clark wouldn't have been able to sense magic because Superman is weak against magic.
That's true.
I do like that little tidbit. See, that's where it works for me when it comes to certain scenarios. Except it's still weird the fact that he was able to sneak up on Clark. And now...
Yeah, and it's like the forest. You're stepping on leaves, sticks,
twigs,
and stuff. Yeah.
And is he just trying to scare Clark in this scene where he's now just saying like, oh, Crazy Kyle is here in the woods. This is where he lives. What are you doing here? Get out of my property. Shouldn't you be leaving? This is like scare tactics that he's trying to do with Clark here. And obviously it's not going to work because Clark isn't impenetrable.
Of course. And you notice that Clark tries to shake his hand, but Kyle doesn't want to.
Well, Clark doesn't like to touch. He's Mr. No Touch.
And I love, he's like, I live in a trailer, not a cave. I know who people are. Love the cave, because the cave will become a very, very big, relevant thing in the future.
Is that a bat cave?
Oh, maybe. Could be working both ways. Double entendre
that's
there.
where it also works against Kyle because he says, oh, of course I know that you're the Kent boy because I don't live in a cave. Bruce knows everything.
Yeah, I'm Kyle. I got my buddy Bruce over here.
Nice try.
Yeah, nice try, idiot. So you get a kind of a glimpse of maybe the relationship that like Kyle has, and you see a worker's helmet that Clark picks up saying Rickman Industries on it. Yeah. And so that clearly shows that, oh, Kyle must have worked for him at least or worked with him.
But I get what you're saying but Clark is using that to throw in his face. Being like, oh, so you keep saying that you're this, this, and this, but it looks like to me that you're just here to scare guys from the facility and from these woods. Because he uses that to go to his earlier point, which is what Chloe brought up, about how the two Rickman employees were scared out of the woods by something, or two scientists, whatever the hell they were. So Clark automatically, he sees the helmet and he thinks that Kyle did it. So he's using that as kind of his own point to say that Kyle is that bad of a person. I don't know. This is like a going back and forth of Clark trying to say, I know things about you. You want to be friends?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's not even really he's accusing him of anything. It's just like, I'm trying to find out like why you were there. What are you doing? Like, what's your deal? I'm trying to be
friends. I'm trying to break down your walls.
What's your damage, Kyle?
That's what it is. Let me take on your pain, Kyle. That's why I hate Clark. Stop it.
Yeah, and so I love...
But focus on your ladies.
I love what Kyle says to him on, friends, they don't stay that way until they betray you. And
it's the best line.
I like that. I like that a lot because he obviously gives a little foreshadow there. But After that scene, Clark is the same day because he's wearing the same sweater and jacket.
Same clothes.
But Lana changed.
Yeah, well, Lana is going out. Oh, hold on.
She's also on a date.
She's on a date right now. So now you have Clark where he walks up and he's at the beanery.
Yep.
To your point, Lana's dressed
the
nice.
Beanery.
Hey, this is a great place, okay?
Apparently it is, bro. Sure.
He is now talking to her, and it's very weird because Nell also lies to Lana that you find out, where Clark is asking Lana, how are you doing? Lana's then responding with, Nell said that you were going to the police. Where Clark, he didn't go to the police.
Obviously.
And instead, he went and gone and seen Kyle, where he explains that to Lana, where guess who walks up behind him as Clark says,
Dude,
I went and saw Kyle.
Whitney just comes out here and is just like, you went to talk to that psycho? Like, bro, what is everyone's deal?
And
I don't...
What type
If I were there, I would have done something.
Last time you did something, you got shot in jitters. Cut the crap, Whitney.
Whitney is not going to do shit.
You're not going to do anything. And by the way, Whitney, I have saved your ass, I think 2 or 3 times at this point.
We all know you would have done something, Whitney. Remember when you strung me up in the cornfield to die? I didn't even touch Lana. I didn't even touch her. And I live next door.
Okay, at this point, though, I'm not going to lie to you. We'll get into it like here on out with the future episodes, but I'm kind of on board with stringing Clark up as a scarecrow if I'm Whitney. If my lady is doing what she is doing with this man.
I just hate the vibe that Clark and Whitney have right here. Even Clark looks at him like, can you shut up? Why do you want to do something?
Well, actually, I do love that moment where Whitney's like, if I was there, I would have done something.
Both
like, Clark and Lana look at each other and look at Whitney like, shut up. And then they go in.
Yeah, and then they just continue talking like, whose date is this? Is this y'all's
or this guy?
Or is it me and Lana? And then what is the looks, man? Whitney is pissing me off.
So many looks, but also what I enjoy is that Clark's like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go home. He turns around, he walks 10 feet, and then sits back down.
Yeah, and Lex is here. Lex is like, that looked uncomfortable. Of course, Lex is there and just eavesdropping.
And you know what? He is at the beanery probably more than anybody else. And I think it's because Lex is a lonely man, and he just wants to listen to the high school gossip.
Well, yeah, when you really think about it, like, it made no sense. Like, why are you so interested? You have a whole company to run, all this, a hot girlfriend, and you're over here just so concerned with high schoolers. But really, he's lonely, man. He's so lonely.
He is. And with this scene, too, it's really Lex is actually looking out for Clark because he is telling Clark, hey, has a guy named Bob Rickman come up to you and talk to you about anything? And Clark's like, no, blah, blah, blah. And Lex is just saying, hey, well, he's going to be trying to get your farm. And Clark laughs, saying, have you ever met my father? You know that's not ever going to be the case. Lex still is kind of fearful because he knows that somehow Rickman has always been able to get his way. He's always been a persuasive man, always has had that magical touch.
Yep, exactly. And so, yeah, he just basically warns him there. After that scene, it cuts to Kyle showing up at Rickman's office, the little after-party thing he had.
Again, this office makes no sense. He's a political candidate.
And then, and it looks like that clearly that Kyle and Bob had an agreement where, hey, you stay out of Smallville, like forever, you do what you want, but if you ever come here, that's the deal breaker.
That was an interesting concept that I had no idea that Kyle and Rickman actually had this relationship where you even can see is that Rickman seems more fearful of Kyle. Where the fact that Kyle is going up to him and saying, oh, I thought we had that type of agreement. You were supposed to burn the world, but you were supposed to stay out of Smallville.
Right.
Which is weird that Kyle says, listen, I agree. Which also makes Rickman suck even more. Kyle said you could go anywhere.
Anywhere.
He said you could do anything. I won't rat you out. I won't do anything.
Won't tell anyone your secret.
We will stay away from each other forever.
Just stay out of
Just stay out of Smallville.
One town.
Why do you want Smallville? It has 28,000. Oh, I'm sorry, 48,000.
And one.
40. Was it 45? Either way, 45,001. Either way, stay out.
Yeah,
that's all you had to do.
It makes no sense because, as far as I know, Smallville technically sucks from the outsider's view. You know what I mean? Like,
this is also where you find out who has the pants, though.
Oh yeah.
Kyle, take my hand. Rickman doing a little. I can't do that. I can't take your hand. You want to know why? Because he's scared.
Mm-hmm.
He's scared to take Kyle, the creepy man in the woods.
Tells him you've been warned. And also, it gives a nod now because I was thinking, oh, wait, do they have the same power? You know? Like, because that's what I was thinking. He says, take my hand. I mean, he has to know, of course, that it was either he has the same power or he has some invulnerability to it. That's what I was thinking at first.
I was with you. Okay. I was with you on my second theory. My first theory, I go, I bet he has an opposite power. What would be the opposite power of this? I came up with nothing, but I was hoping it'd be like a Más o menos type of deal.
God.
You know,
Well,
like the positive and the
They
negative.
touch each other and then, like,
Yeah,
something happens.
like that's what I mean. Yeah, but I was hoping for it.
So it's like little Wonder Twin vibes here.
All right, so Joseph, I have a real gigantic problem with this next part because
You think you have a problem with it?
I just need you to explain one thing to me after the Kyle and Rickman scene here.
Okay, so...
Wait, just explain one thing to me. I have a question before you go on and explain. I thought Whitney was with Lana.
Yeah, he ditched her.
Can you explain to me where Whitney is now?
Yeah, because I don't know if they explain it later. Well, he's at the beanery. He's leaving the beanery.
That's the beanery?
Yes, he's leaving the beanery.
That doesn't look like the beanery.
That's
Since
definitely
when do they
the
have
beanery.
high stools in the beanery?
The bar?
No. Hold
Dude,
on. I'm sorry.
You're on crack, dude.
No. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to rewind here. I know that we usually do a pause, but this is a rewind. Because there is no way in hell this is the beanery.
Bro, you already see a coffee cup?
There are fire pits in the background. That's like a restaurant.
This is the beanery, bro.
That's not the beanery.
Dude, cappuccino menu. There's beanery. That's the front menu, dog.
Damn it.
Look, man, I told you. Yeah, still, though, to your point, he ditched Lana.
I thought Lana was dressed up nice, too.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that he would leave her, right?
I can't believe she would dress up nice, and he still brought his Letterman.
Oh, wait. I thought you said that Whitney gets his douchey superpowers from his Letterman jacket.
Maybe
I
that's...
thought you said that his abilities were the Letterman, so... Hold on. Do you think that he turns into Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 3 whenever he puts on his Letterman jacket? Do you think that's what his character is?
Dude.
This is the exact moment.
No, because, like... No, because Toby was doing them douchey smiles and smirks and stuff. Whitney's over here just angry. He went roid boy with the jacket, dude.
I don't know. There's a lot of and you gotta admit that he would do a dance scene in front of Lana to make her jealous, and then he would make it awkward.
That'd be weird. I'm already awkward right now, dude. I don't like that. I don't even like thinking.
He would also dye his hair black.
And then he sees Kyle and Clark talking, and he across the street as he exits the beanery, he goes over there. He's like, "Hey, Kyle, what's your problem?" He's like, "Yeah, touch Lana Lang again, and I'll take care of you myself." You are what, 18? This man is a grown man. I'm guaranteed he could take you.
Well,
He's not even at somewhat scared. He's a child.
It's the weirdest thing that Clark is like, "Hey, Whitney, just come on, ease off, back off." Whitney then goes to his car. Whitney, you have gotten your ass kicked. I don't even know how many times at this point in the show. And Clark has saved you countless times. Like, dude, go to your car and go home. And also, Whitney acts drunk in the scene.
Yeah, it feels like,
He's
is
wobbling and like pointing at Kyle, being like, "Hey, you."
And then, of course, Clark offers Kyle a ride, so they go to help him out, do chores and take him home. And then Bob overhears this because his office is right there. And he's like, "Hey, man, what was going on? You have a problem with Kyle?" He's like, "Yeah, he attacked my girlfriend." So what does he do? Touch me.
Hey.
I'm Bob, man. Nice to meet you.
I'm Bob.
And also, what's the Matrix code in the eyes?
Touch.
It's like you get a glimpse of like them being brainwashed with the eyes. And so we fast forward here. Clark and Kyle are back at the trailer. And
It's not even fast forward. It's the next scene because they are fast forwarding. The editing in this episode bothers the shit out of me,
Really?
which once again goes back to how did Whitney come out? Did he really ditch Lana? I'm going to be so pissed if he ditched her. She was wearing a great outfit in the yellow.
Well, she was probably maybe she ditched him after his little douchey rant over there.
You know what? She needs to be comforted right now. She's been through a lot this episode. And then she breaks that.
Oh.
All right, but now we have to your point where Kyle and Clark is now back at his trailer. And after Kyle dropped him off at the store so he could pick up groceries, they built a bond in a way where Kyle keeps throwing out insults and Clark is taking and being like, dude, I just know you need a friend.
Yeah, and I love what he says. You know, some people weren't meant to have a regular life, Clark, and I like that just because I mean,
Well, because he's like, how do you live out here in the woods? Like, how are you able to do that? And Kyle just has the most simplest explanation to it.
I'm just not normal, man. I just like this is my normal. You know what I mean? Like, and it just I mean, you are different. I'm different. Everyone's gonna be different. And so yeah, they built that bond there. As Kyle is getting up to his door, he sees in his reflection of the window that Winnie's over here about to swing on him with a bat, bro. First off, the groceries! No!
He hits him. He hits him good. And now Whitney is going to town where Clark is pulling away. And what does he notice? Hey, that's Whitney's third truck. We have to be able to go.
I'm surprised he's keeping up.
Yeah, I can't believe he knows the color at this point. But then he goes back. Okay, Whitney is full on beating the crap out of Kyle here.
Yeah, he's like literally picks up a stick that's on
fire
and swings at him. And then, Kyle, hell yeah, bro.
Kyle picks up his own bat and then hits him.
No, that was the bat Whitney brought.
Okay, well then, so Whitney picks up then the wooden post that's on fire?
Well, because he dropped it and Kyle got it out of him.
I'm glad that Whitney is now picking up a more violent weapon to then use. Because what did you say? That a wooden post, baseball bat, but the wooden post is on fire.
Yeah.
That throws another thing on top.
That is attempted murder.
It's attempted something.
No.
So they're going back and forth. Kyle gets the shot at the midsection. Whitney is now leaning over like, oh, man, it's going to hurt.
Oh, man.
And then Kyle goes for the kill shot.
He does go for the kill shot. Clark speeds in there to interrupt it, and he basically swings on Clark's face, and obviously it breaks.
However, Clark shouldn't have moved. Clark shouldn't have moved as far as the face. Like, and
I don't know. When he did run up, I don't know what he was expecting. Again, this is like that argument we have. Is he expecting it? Is he not expecting it?
He was expecting that, though.
Does he look like he's expecting it?
Yeah, his face shouldn't have even moved from a baseball bat.
Oh, well.
Come on. His face moved with the mace. I would get that when he took the mace from, like, in the face from Jeff.
Well,
but true. As far as the baseball bat goes, that's weak. Okay.
I love the power move here, though. Clark's over here like, Kyle, swing a bat at me. Bitch.
How is Kyle okay after that hit?
Honestly, I don't know, because he dents the whole door.
And
even the look Clark gives, like.
And I hate the look that he gives, because then he immediately turns around and he bends. Whitney, are you okay?
Oh, Whitney, are you okay?
Oh, what are you doing here? I didn't know what's going on. In this entire scene, and Clark looks again at Kyle like he is disgusted and so angry that Kyle would do something. Am I missing something here? That Whitney is on his property.
He is. And it's like they beat him there too. So obviously Clark should have known, oh, wait, what the hell? Like,
this may be one of the worst scenes in Smallville history for me, where now the cops show up and they are putting Kyle in the car. Why are they putting Kyle in the car? For defending his home? Dude. From an intruder?
Because apparently everyone in town hates this hermit.
Okay. He is defending his home from an intruder who showed up in the middle of the night to try to attack him.
Yeah, and then Whitney's over here. Yeah, he blew me off, so I came out here to talk. What?
What do you mean you blew? What do you mean you came out here to talk? Yeah,
you threatened him on the street, and then he blew you off?
Oh, and also Whitney's a very reasonable human being. He always wants to talk out his problems. He never wants to settle it with fights.
I know.
Most reasonable human being. And he tells Jonathan all of this, where Jonathan, he's not buying. Which I like it, because Jonathan is then looking at Clark being like, is that really what happened? Clark is like, I didn't really see in a way, but he does say that
Whitney Kyle says Whitney swung first.
Yes. Which is the truth. But how could anybody believe Whitney? Because even Whitney throws a temper tantrum. Are you trying to say that I'm lying?
First he attacks Lana, and then he attacks me, and you saw with your own eyes. That freak tried to kill me. He's like, bro.
What are you doing here?
You literally were going for the kill shot as he was entering his house with groceries.
I don't care about anything, Whitney. What are you doing here?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense at all. And he throws his tantrum and he just storms off.
And
John's over here like, yeah, son, I'm glad you're my son.
Yeah. You know what? I thought I wanted you to be the high school quarterback. Not after that crap. What was that?
And so after that, he storms off. We're back at school, so it's Monday now. Is it not Monday?
Okay, it's Monday. It's got to be Monday because they're at my favorite place on planet Earth.
The
I figure
Torch.
the Torch is always where things happen for me.
Oh, for sure, dude. Like, this is where the good conversations happen.
Especially because this is the only scene we do have our boy Pete in, so we must treasure it.
Sure.
And then...
Uh-huh. Sure.
And they are now going through where there's a report inside of the paper about Kyle and how he was arrested. And so then they start talking about an angle of Rickman. They start getting into Rickman Industries. Exactly. Because it's still weird that Chloe is the one to figure out that them two knew each other, Rickman and Kyle.
Yeah.
Very surprising that nobody else was able to figure this out.
Uh-huh. It's true. And so as they're going through that, Lana kind of storms in, dude.
I have never
We haven't seen her this angry.
I've never seen a face like this. The moment she comes in with a face like this, if I am Pete, I'll see you guys later. I think I have class.
Yeah, and dude, like, okay, thanks, Pete. Thank you for leaving. I was hoping this gets you out. And so, yeah, she's like, can we have a second? Her and Clark. And Chloe, eye roll and everything, dude. It's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Whore.
Seriously, don't you have enough time with him being a neighbor?
God, we just had a horse ride yesterday.
You could have just gone over and asked for sugar.
Come on, Pete. Come on, Pete. And so, yeah, so Lana's over here. Whitney said you accused him of attacking Kyle. I didn't accuse him. I just have some questions.
Joseph.
Like what?
I'm going to choose Chloe. I'm going to choose Chloe if this shit continues with Lana. I'm not going to have it. I'm just not going to put up with this nonsense.
He was just trying to talk to him. Yeah, is that what he told you, idiot? Oh, you remember that time? Yeah, he played that prank on Clark.
Okay.
He played that prank.
Okay, so her defense to it all is Lana obviously comes in angry at Clark, being like, Whitney says you don't believe him. Whitney says you're sticking up for Kyle. Listen, we both know that Whitney can be overzealous. Overzealous?
He has attempted murder on a fellow classmate.
What do you mean? But his heart's in the right place? What do you mean his heart's in the right place? When have you ever seen... What is it? Because how good was that first edition book, Lana?
More like his roids are in the right place.
Listen, and all Clark is honestly doing is just saying, I've talked to Kyle. Listen,
I literally have given him a ride home. We've talked for like a whole couple hours.
He's not violent.
He's not violent. And you can tell that from knowing him for 2 days. Yeah. I can. Like, is that not a valid argument? If I knew someone for 2 days, really got to know them like that, also, that just clarifies Saturday.
Joseph,
it was Saturday.
Did you not just hear her argument on why, though? He's lived in the woods for 10 years, Clark.
It's that Nell prejudice in
the
house, bro.
What the hell? That was a Nell. Thank you for calling that out. That was a Nell comment. That was a Nell just... I need to go to the jewelry section at the Luther.
Yeah.
At the Luther Gala.
And of course, Clark, dude, he's making great argument here. He's like, that makes him odd, not dangerous. Like, yeah, he lives in the forest, so what? He wouldn't attack anybody. He strung me up in a field.
I love that I wrote in my notes before he said that, I go, listen, lady, he strung this man up as a scarecrow with his buddies. What are you talking about?
Practically naked in a field. It's freezing cold. He put kryptonite on him. He didn't know that's his weakness, but still, the man was gonna die.
This is the most woman thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
So that's what it's about. You haven't forgiven him? Are you kidding me?
He brings it up, and she switches the argument to that. Because he makes one comment to go against her validation that Whitney has a good heart and is a good person, she then switches it to say, oh, it's because you're biased now.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
so
why.
You're looking for an excuse to knock Whitney.
Got you.
You know what he's going through, Clark. His dad is sick. You're talking about things that have nothing to do with this right now.
Hey, Lana, if I really hated the man, me and you would be watching every sunset from here on out.
That's right.
Every day of the week.
I would have said, screw Whitney's dad, bro.
We would have done so much. No more telescope goodbye. He's going to be watching us from now on.
And, bro, I would have took advantage of this situation right here. If you don't like him, just say it. Oh, hell yeah. I hate Whitney.
Why would I like him?
Don't pretend to be his friend. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not pretending to be anything. I'm just being nice because of you.
When she said don't pretend to be his friend, I put, Yeah.
I don't think he is.
I don't
think he's pretending to be his friend.
When is that connection?
Sure, Clark is kind of dumb and awkward, but he's only doing it for you.
Yeah, I thought that was obvious.
And so basically, friendship was broken off there, kind of, in a sense.
She walks away. It was disgusting. I hated Lana's reaction. I better never see that again. Something's going to happen.
Dude. And so, after that horrendous argument here, unannounced visit, by the way, give me this pen. Unannounced visit from Mr. Bob Rickman at the Kent farm while Jonathan is shoveling soil fertilizer or something.
No, he's shoveling poop.
Oh.
By the way,
yeah,
where are the animals? Have you ever seen animals in this farm?
On the pasture. They're on the pasture.
He is shoveling crap, and nobody has ever seen an animal on this farm.
That's true. It's weird because animals they are shown later, but like you never see them now. Maybe they didn't fit in the budget yet to rent some cows.
We can't rent one cow.
We can't rent the slop yet, the pigs, the cows. We can put a little audio track of a rooster in the back, but that's it, John. Don't get carried away. So you want to talk about that? Just let it play because this scene kind of sucks.
All right, that's fine. Yeah. There's no reason to pause. Where Rickman now is reaching out his hand where he notices Jonathan has the gloves. Joseph, why would Jonathan... Okay, this is what I hate about this scene, and I love about it at the same time, so I could talk shit about Jonathan. So Jonathan, he's shoveling his shit, doing his job for Martha in the farm. Rickman comes in where he wants to start talking about buying the farm. Jonathan then uses this as an excuse to stop working. So he then walks away, starts taking off his gloves. You want to know why? Because Jonathan is done for the day.
Yeah.
And he's about to go inside to have a beer to then tell Martha, you know what? I was going to do it. But Rickman, he came
and sprained his ankle.
And you know what, Martha? I had to help him out, so I couldn't finish my job, but I'm going to get to it tomorrow. He acts like Taylor.
Also poor... Convincing here? You're telling me right now you were literally a foot behind me. You turned around and you twisted your ankle? How? And so he's like, hey, John, help me up. And you're telling me this... Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
All he had to do was continue to wear the gloves. But he didn't want to because he didn't want to continue to work.
Yeah, he was done working. He messed himself up here.
If Jonathan wasn't just such a lazy ass, he would have been able to get by this situation that now he has to go through. Because the next scene...
And of course, dude, it's so funny in my notes. I literally put, haha, God, this scene sucks.
This is where they kind of explain the ability that still
makes... no, not that. I'm talking about this whole barn scene.
Oh, the old barn.
Yeah. So now they show how it goes, I guess, into the nerves, this nervous system.
And the brain.
And the brain, it's basically just contorting to where it's the power of persuasion. That's really what it is. And obviously, as soon as Rickman touches him, you know he's about to, hey, give me your farm. And he's about to convince him to give him a farm. And so next scene, of course...
Hold on. I think that Martha goes really hard here.
Of course.
I think Martha just destroys Jonathan in this scene.
Yeah, how could you do this without telling me this happened? This is land is our legacy? That's what you said, right, John?
And Jonathan is just taking the beating.
Dude, he sitting... And I love it because really he has no explanation.
Oh, he's trying to figure it out. He's doing what every man is doing right now where his wife is this
it's
man.
It's like he blacked out for the night and, maybe had like a condom on him and he's not supposed to have condoms ever. You know what I mean?
The car came home and it was wrecked.
Yeah.
And she's like, how did this wreck happen?
And he's just sitting there like,
oh no, I have no idea.
He's like, babe, I'm sorry, babe.
So Clark walks in though, and he is hearing the argument. Martha's still going off where
also,
Clark is
Black Jacket.
I know, he's going dark here.
Oh.
He's asking how could this happen? Jonathan just explains, all I remember is him reaching out his hand, me shaking his hand, and then I remember the contract was signed.
Mm-hmm.
And Clark has a very... I don't know if it's a logical explanation where he just says, that can't be right. Give me the contract. I know who to call.
Yeah, and then John's like, I don't want to owe a Luther anything. And Martha's like, you don't have anything to owe, idiot.
Oh, my, I love Martha's response. Well, you're about to have nothing, so shut the hell up, Jonathan.
And so back again after that fiasco, the beanery. And so we have Clark walking past Whitney.
You love the beaner?
No, I don't. I hope this is... No, I want everyone to know
hangout
I hate
spot,
the beanery,
dude.
bro. Because no 14-year-olds are drinking this much coffee.
They are. Okay, Clark is if Lex is there. All right, so Clark actually has a logical explanation.
He's probably drinking some tea.
Exactly. Clark, he needs to stop growing at this point.
But,
It become too weird.
But I do like it here. Well, first off, we need to talk about how you walk past Whitney and Lana just gives him the cold shoulder eye, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, but Clark also kind of avoids it. He
for
really
sure.
he
literally looks at him like, yeah, I'm not talking to them.
Exactly. He shakes his head. I'm not listening to that tonight.
And then even Lex like, whoa, that looked a little awkward. It's like, yeah. And so I love what even Lex tells him. It's not about the ending. It's about the journey, man.
Well, it's because he compares him to Atticus from The Killing Mockingbird.
I love that comparison too.
All right, so also throw a little nerd logic out there. To Kill a Mockingbird is Superman's favorite book in the comics.
It is. That's a fun fact, dude.
Yes, I actually love that tie-in here. The fact that Luthor is now comparing him, saying like, hey, he had to stand up for justice, similar to what you are doing here. Even though it's the right thing, it's now having to convince people that it is the right thing.
Right.
Luthor then laughs, saying, well, that's the hardest part. And if you can learn to do that, then you become a wonderful ruler.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because he then goes and he talks about, or his entire purpose to this was to show Lex the contract. Listen, Joseph, listen. Rickman's the biggest piece of crap. We've established this.
For sure.
But Lex even said he gave them 3 times the amount that their farm was worth.
Yeah.
He gave them 3 times what market value was. So the biggest sleazeball is also hooking you up with quite the payday to kind of shut you up in return.
And it's kind of weird because it kind of shows character because in a sense, yeah, he comes off as a sleazeball. Everyone hates him. But even though he uses his powers in the wrong way, he's helping you out. Like, he's giving you incentive for the troubles.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is crazy. So it's like he does feel guilt a little bit.
In a way, it's the Narcos type of scenario where he's having the person choose, where it's like, listen, you can do this or this.
Plata or plomo.
Either way, it's gonna be this. So do you want this?
Yeah, and I mean, actually, it could play into the whole guilt aspect, but also it's probably just trying to make him look good. Like, oh, he's a good businessman. He gives him good market price and everything.
But
things like that.
It was also nice to know that Luthor then said, well, the contract is completely sound. It's gonna take 12 lawyers to be able to figure this out. Thank God I have an army.
Yeah, and I love how Clark's like, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, and Lex is like, where are you going?
Jail.
What the hell? I was like, well, jail. And so next we're back at the Rickman office, and
his political office, which he just hangs out with. That's where he lives. And he has a fold-out bed.
And we have this deputy come in, and he's like, yeah, I heard you had a problem. He's like, yeah, deputy, I just need you to take care of an old friend for me, as he shakes his hand. So clearly he's telling his cop to kill Kyle.
I actually thought it was stupid until I saw the scene after, where I go, this actually would make sense if you were to call a cop and you were to say, I have a type of disturbance, I have a guy bugging me.
Yeah.
And the cop would then come in to investigate, and then he's able to touch the hand to kind of hire him in a way to go and take out Kyle, which we get to this scene where Kyle is now sitting in prison, and Joseph, what do we have now?
We have, obviously, this visitor showing up for Kyle, and the cop is taking him out.
And it's the first time where Kyle shows his ability.
And it's the same one.
And I was hoping it would have been different. I don't know what the opposite is.
And see, the thing is here...
What if it's somebody touches him?
This was my problem. He told him... My problem is that he told him he had a visitor, right? Now, did he brainwash the cop because he thought it'd be Rickman? Or... was he just dumb and decided, I'm going to brainwash this cop just because I'm getting let out?
No. He had a visitor to come and see him, so he wasn't going to leave. He brainwashed the cop in order for him to be able to leave. I thought you were going to point out the best scene in the entire episode, which is when he does leave and he dresses up as a cop to escape. And then Clark comes, hey, Kyle!
Kyle! It's clear as day. It's him, dude. Like, bro, it's like, he's like looking at him like, So yeah, he's like, Kyle, what are you doing? He's like,
Why are you yelling at me? Clark, I'm trying to escape. What are you doing?
Like, God damn it, Clark, shut up. And so,
Joseph, can you explain this to me?
And we have that deputy, Rickman, or Bob, brainwashed. He shot the bullet, and Clark is over here. Apparently, he's supposed to be so fast, right?
Well, Joseph, he saw the two sides of one bullet. He was just dodging it back and forth, going crazy, wanting to inspect it.
But he can't beat this bullet here.
Can you explain how?
I don't know.
He was so fast that he was able to pick up a vase, too, after he dropped it. How is he not able to stop this bullet here that hits Kyle? Yeah.
It does hit Kyle.
It does. It hits him in the shoulder.
Yeah, it hits him in the shoulder. Clark is basically too slow to save him from that injury there.
Ow.
Deputy keeps shooting.
Well, yeah, he's brainwashed because he didn't see him die.
Yeah, it's true. And so also, what's up with that blood goop? That's barbecue sauce. Did you see that? It should be like bright red, bro. I've seen blood. You're not about to fool me. I'm from Texas, bro. That is barbecue sauce on the ground. Might be hickory flavored, dude.
Somebody had the fake blood. Oh, we ran out. Oh no. Oh,
expired barbecue sauce in the fridge.
Go get it now.
And so after that scene, of course, with the barbecue sauce being shown as the blood, we're going back to the Luthor Mansion. And what do we have here, Taylor?
Well, when it comes to this part with the Luthor Mansion, we have Joseph. Is this supposed to be like a Quentin Tarantino scene? Is this somebody that's like, you know what? I love how Quentin does things with certain drug dealers on the way they look. So I want to have a guy that Lex knows that's able to help people with injuries, kind of like a behind-the-scenes type of guy that he works in the black market area.
His name is Toby.
I got no other explanation, Joseph.
Bro, he looks like a Motley Crue washout.
This is the weirdest crap I've ever seen in my life.
And Lex explains it as it's like, billionaire son, just a washout, just a low-key guy.
He's showing up Kyle because Kyle obviously was shot in the shoulder. So Clark is completely questioning this guy to Lex, being like, how do you know him?
You're like, who the hell is this guy?
And it's going back and forth where Lex actually asks Clark, why would you bring him here? Why would you bring a felon to my home?
Yeah, and he's like, my parents would freak.
Which is a weird thing. I think it's because he, for once, acted like a 14-year-old kid and said, I don't want to tell my parents. I don't want to listen to them for the night. I would rather
also,
just...
they're dealing with their own shit right now, you know what I mean? With the whole farm being taken.
You mean that Jonathan is just dealing with Martha screaming at his ass?
He's probably getting whipped back there, bro.
He is getting his ass whooped right now. Martha is not stopping. Oh, he's sleeping on the couch. He's probably sleeping in the barn tonight.
Yeah, and so a little weird fact here. So the doctor mentions, this is easier than your knife wound at Club Zero, remember? So Lex, for one, got stabbed. Club Zero is actually something that comes up multiple times in this show. So there's actually a backstory with Club Zero and Lex being there. And also it even goes back to Phelan, because Phelan was involved with that too.
I thought it happened before that even. I thought there was a mention of Club Zero. I can't remember the episode.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it was either episode 2 or 3 where something was mentioned of Club Zero with Lex, and then Phelan brought it up with him saying that he had to erase certain things that Lex did in his past. And then now we have another incident where did he own the club or did Lionel own the club? And that's what this is all about with the Club Zero. That's where he was able to go inside, make the trouble. The fact that he was stabbed, though, and this is the guy that he called, this guy makes no sense to me.
It doesn't make sense at all. But it's cool how this Club Zero thing is definitely...
Blood all over my Mustang, Joseph.
Oh, my God. Lex, give me my money. I'm done.
Are you kidding me right now? That man is not paid with money. When he says, oh, Lex, I need my usual payment, he says it's the brown bag on my desk. That's heroin. He is paying him in heroin. There is no other explanation for a guy like this to be in my home, except he is buying heroin.
It's kind of weird how dark they make certain things like just thrown in there, because, okay, this guy's 14 in a 21-year-old's mansion. He's paying him in heroin. He's paying the doctor in front of a 14-year-old with heroin.
Well, also, we're as innocent as you could say, with Clark then showing up at his home. He's about to leave after the great doctor. And Lex says, hey, Atticus, you have blood on your shirt. I mean, there's a butt ton of blood on his shirt, too.
Yeah, that's true. And then we have an unannounced visit from...
I don't want to listen to this.
From Lana.
Can I just fast forward this
part?
No,
just let it play because, God, she pisses me off.
Oh, my God. I don't even want to pause this.
Don't pause it.
I'm so tired of her.
No, yeah. You're the last person I expected to find here, Lana. And Lana's over here. I heard Kyle Tippett escaped. I was a little freaked out.
Why are you over at my house? Why don't you go over to Whitney? Where's Whitney at, Lana?
Where's Aunt Nell? Apparently she's ready for the noose. She's ready with the noose for Kyle.
Get out of my house, Lana.
You're in my barn.
Where's
Whitney? This is my telescope.
Where's Whitney?
Go back. Go back to the house. I'll watch you. I'll watch you through the telescope.
Yeah. I'll help you. Don't worry, Lana. Just get out.
Yeah, and she's like, and Clark's obviously giving attitude,
By the way,
which
he truly says what we were saying right now to her. He's like, okay, yeah, whatever you say. And Lana's like, fine.
I'm sorry I bothered you. Are you kidding? Yeah, you are bothering me.
And this is what I hate about her even more. Is the fact that she was wanting to come over so that Clark would then apologize. She is giving him an out saying, I know you didn't mean what you said. Apologize to me, Clark.
Yeah, and
then we can go back to being flirty again.
And I love Clark. He's like, yeah, if you're expecting an apology, you're out of luck. And she's like, he escaped from jail.
He's bad news.
Yeah, he's bad news. And he's like, you don't know the whole story. Okay, this is the part that got me. It's so funny because, like, you don't know the whole story. He's like, and then she's like, then tell me, what is it? I don't know yet. Dude, I swear to God, man, Clark can be so great sometimes. And then that one line there, I was like, all right, Clark, you're kind of dumb.
But I agree with usually pothead boy. But, come on. Lana is not going to listen to anything.
She's not at this point.
And she's really not. So even Clark saying, listen, you've already made up your mind about the guy. There is no point. Even if I don't know, it really doesn't matter because Lana's just going to come up with another reason on why he's a bad guy.
Exactly. So, hey, go back to now and go cry.
Oh, my God. But
so what do you care? It's like, I wanted to clear the air and
preserve switched the argument again. She switches it again,
I wanted to clear the air and preserve our friendship. God, shut up!
Okay, so now it's about our friendship. It wasn't about Kyle. You then twisted the argument to make it about something else. Just because I did not apologize and you did not get your way.
Yeah,
this is manipulation at its finest.
Yeah, and he picks up the phone. He's like, hey, Whitney, can you come get your girl, dog?
But what is she doing here? She's scared. She came over to my barn. Come and pick her up.
She's trying to slot me up. I just don't want her out. I want her out of here.
That's it. Get her out. I am really disappointed in her. But I'm very proud of Clark. Because for once, he did not allow her to woo him over.
Yeah, and usually he will be wooed by her.
He was standing his ground, and it's because, going back to what I mentioned earlier, which still doesn't make too much sense to me, but he sees a little of himself in Kyle.
Yeah.
And that's why there's a feeling bad.
Oh, for sure. And
hey, we're at your favorite place.
After the barn. Where are we again, bro?
That's Lex's favorite place.
And so now we are at the Beanery for a third time this episode. And we have Rickman barging in on some Lex while he's enjoying a coffee. And, of course, he tries to go in for the handshake again.
Touch me.
Yeah, and he's like, yo, it's not just that, man. I just don't like you. Stop trying to touch me.
It's interesting because now this is where Rickman is explaining to Lex, what are you so interested in the Kent family for? Mm-hmm. Because the contract was signed. Rickman then is like, I know a Lex lawyer whenever I see him. What are you doing? Why are you coming after me? The contract was signed. Well, we've never bothered each other. Here's my problem going back to what we've said about Rickman. Why did you come to Smallville?
It makes
You already had Kyle that said stay out of it. And you already knew that Lex was there. So you knew Lex was never going to cut you some slack. And you still push forward. This may be the cocky salesman to like a millionth degree of just the douchebagness. But this is way too cocky where you were set up to fail.
Oh, for sure.
Like you shot yourself in the foot here. And that's what I've always said about some of these villains. They've made their own mistakes. Stay out of Smallville.
Yeah, and he's just like, why are you involved? The Kents are my friends, idiots. Just shut up and go away.
I told you when I saw you in your office that Smallville was my home now. Obviously, I know people here. Otherwise, I wouldn't say that.
And I love that he pats him on the shoulder as he's leaving. He's like, don't touch me.
I actually do love that. Don't touch me.
Dude, it's so beautiful. And then, yeah, he's mentioning, oh, yeah, Kyle.
I heard a rumor that you guys were buddy-buddy.
Yeah, and he's like, just pass on your regards when I do, you know?
I love Rickman's response. How do you know that? Huh? How do you know that? Well, Rickman, turns out a high school girl found out.
Facts. It's not even that's actual facts. And then so as they're leaving, Chloe and Clark are walking in.
Oh, do I love this?
Yeah, and Clark's like, oh yeah, hey, how'd you sell that? How'd you sell that to my dad? How'd you make him sell the land?
Bro,
he reaches in for the hand. Yeah, no hard feelings. I'm just a good businessman. Bro.
Clark. And I love that Rickman doesn't try because he just thinks that he's a 14-year-old kid.
No, his power doesn't work on Clark.
That's not what I...
That's literally the issue here.
Hold on.
Why else would he shake his hand, dude?
Hold on. Why is this the only time he doesn't put the hand over it?
I'm not sure.
Remember, every time he
I
shakes
know
his
that,
hand, yeah,
but
and
it's
he
not
does
consistent.
then they show the power. I agreed with you, and that's what I first put in my notes saying, oh, the power doesn't work on Clark. 2 issues. One is that he doesn't put the hand over Clark's hand, so to make it seem like he's even trying, because it would have been better if he's like, ugh, and he's shaking while he's trying to put the other hand on top. Doesn't happen. The other issue is, if it's a kryptonite power, how isn't Clark weak?
That's also true. That was my point, because I even put it makes no sense, because if it is originating from a kryptonite power,
Then something
it
would
should
affect
definitely
him.
work. You know what I mean? But
why doesn't he put the other hand on top?
Well,
That's all he had to do for me to buy into the scene.
But did he put the hand on top for the first guy?
He did.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
All right.
I'm positive. And you can go back and we'll even add that scene as a deleted scene. I promise you, he has done it every time to convince the person.
That's true.
And he didn't do it with Clark, and my assumption was because he's a 14-year-old kid, what am I going to convince the kid to do?
It's an inconsistency there, but you can just tell from the reaction and everything, he was trying to use the power on him.
I still disagree. All right, but now we're jumping into the Lex and the Chloe conversation with Clark, and they're going through on how Rickman and Kyle know each other. Here's my issue. Here's my big issue. Lex is like, oh, what? I'm so surprised. Lex, didn't you know Rickman? Don't you have your own private investigators? Don't you look into a CEO of a business if you're ever wanting, like, competition-wise to see what they have that you do not? Lex, how does a 14-year-old girl know more about him than you ever do?
Well, I mean, this is like their early career as salesmen, selling farm equipment, bro. It's not even that crazy. Why would Lex even dig that deep?
Where did this guy come from? What are you talking about? Where did this guy come from? If I'm a businessman and I have somebody that's going to compete with me, I'm going to look up and be like, where did this motherfucker come from?
Yeah, but, dude, Lex Luthor Corp, they're on a whole different scale of Rickman Industries. They don't even compete at all.
Except in this scenario where Rickman is now going to come into Smallville to take over.
Just some land?
Doesn't matter. It's still taking over.
Nah, man. They're not even competing, bro. Lex, he's above him. Crazy. He doesn't give a shit about Rickman.
My point is that Velma's smarter than everybody.
Sure. She got a good story.
I don't like the attitude. This is also one of the funniest parts. Oh my God.
Hey, where's Kyle? Random Asian nurse. She's like,
Who?
And then look how pissed he is. He's like, God damn it.
What I love.
Fired. Immediately fired, bro.
What I love.
Yeah,
Hold on. I love this part because not only that, but then Clark. I think I know where he went. All Clark does is go back to his home.
Yeah, oh, the good one there, Clark. So yeah, basically they go to Luthor Mansion. Kyle's missing. And so Clark's like, all right, I know where he is. So Chloe and him go and visit him at his trailer.
Because that's the only spot that you could think,
Oh
right?
my
Because he
God.
wouldn't be anywhere else. Like
He
a
has
monkey
nowhere-
would
Yeah.
find him.
And so they talk about, oh yeah, Rickman, we know he was your partner, and it was a million years ago, blah, blah, blah. What happened to you guys in the meteor shower? Basically, this is where they go over the origin. Yeah, we got powers from this. Also,
Were
the thing is,
Were
see,
they in a car together?
they
And-
were in a car
yeah.
together during the meteor shower. That's the whole origin story. But get this. This is why I wanted to talk about it at first. Remember how we don't buy it with Bob being such a good salesman, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. This is why this is what makes sense. Kyle says, yeah, we were the worst salesman until that day. Crazy. He still is the worst salesman, but he has a power, so he's cheating.
Yeah, but Kyle, I don't think he's a bad salesman.
No, not at all. No, I'm
Yeah.
saying that he literally says we were the worst salesman to ever carry a catalog. All of that changed that day at the meteor shower. We got trapped in the car, and just by coincidence, what is their power after the kryptonite?
It just happens to be the perfect salesman.
Yeah. So stupid. So
But
stupid.
also, I actually, whenever he was describing this scenario, I thought of The Mist. I've ever
Oh,
seen
yeah.
it with Stephen King, where it was them being locked in the car, and they hear the noise in the back. For some reason, that's immediately what I jumped to. I go, man, were y'all like going back and forth on should you kill each other too?
That would have been crazy.
That would have been a great.
Because yeah, they were trapped in there for a little bit.
That's
like,
what I mean.
They were probably like doors shut. They
And
couldn't
you
get
think
out.
in the end of the world? Oh my lord, that would be.
They were probably literally just in there figuring out. Oh yeah, we feel different.
This
You know what I mean?
episode is so bad. I wish they would have shown that scene.
Actually, yeah, that would
Yeah.
have been cool. That should have been the opening scene, dude.
Whoa! How are we coming up with a better episode?
Dude, imagine it's like going back to what is
Instead
it? What was the shower? 88, 89?
Yeah, she said 89, 90, and 91.
Well, their best years as
Yes.
salesmen. So it would have been cool seeing them, drive around. They had the worst sales call because they're struggling. They're the worst salesmen. And then little do they know, meteor showers start coming down.
Why is that not the
And
intro?
they get trapped. Oh, and then they realize, oh, look what we can do. And then fast forward, it's now current time. Oh, Kyle's a hermit. Rickman is the best salesman around.
Why is that not the beginning? Why did I have Rickman and Paul? Why did I have Paul? Why did I have the CEO's son coming to tell me what to do?
Paul Hendricks.
Instead of even the falling on the car, which was weak scene because he moves, I would have much rather had that. You could give me another exploding car as well.
Yeah, dude. It would have been cool to see that origin instead. But yeah, so anyways, to get back to it.
All right, so he's explaining his power, though, of saying that I was able to touch people.
And this is probably
And they
one of
were
the
able
best
to-
parts of the episode.
They were able to do what I want, but after they did what I want, they would forget, which is a key thing to this. Is that they would always forget whenever they would do after they said something.
Yeah, and Chloe's over here. It's like, yeah, it sounds good in theory, but how about you prove it? I mean, how do we know you're not lying? It's like, you have this. It's like, it's dangerous.
Kyle doesn't like to do it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it. And she's like, I'm used to living on the edge.
Well, Chloe would do it. I would do it too. I'd be like, all right, well, you got to show me.
But the way she says it's like, I'm used to living on the edge. Okay, you dirty little something, dude.
So
and look, she touches her hand. Okay, this.
See, right there.
You're
That's
right.
what I'm telling you.
You're right.
He puts, in order to do the power, Kyle grabs Chloe's hand
And puts
his hand on top. It's the only way for them to be able to do their power.
All right, so
I don't even know how you would discover that, though, in a handshake.
Right?
That's like the most unnatural thing to ever be able to do to somebody.
No, when you're putting the other hand on a handshake, it's already weird.
It's never...
Unless it's a woman, like like that. I don't know, like...
What I love, though, is what Kyle then has Chloe do.
Yeah, but see, how would Kyle know this fact? He starts off saying, Chloe, I know you have feelings for Clark.
Hold on. He is telling her. So, in a way, this is not revealing to Clark that Chloe has feelings for him. This is strictly Kyle is telling her that she has feelings for him. You always have. So, I don't mind this whatsoever. It's not revealing anything. Clark is just over there smiling up a storm. All right, I know. Oh my God, what are you gonna ever do to me?
And so yeah, and he goes, now you can show him. And what does Chloe immediately do? Just rubs her hands all on Clark's chest and stomach, dude, and then pulls him towards for the kiss.
Hold on. Clark never moves away. Clark never backs away. He just lets her do it all. Clark could have easily backed away and been like, oh, this is weird. This is my friend. This isn't right because she doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
Instead, Clark, oh, I'm just an innocent bystander.
Oh, wow, you kissed me? Oh. And he's like, oh. And he doesn't even try to push. And then after she's done kissing him, she forgets. She immediately forgets, and she's like, okay, come on already. I'm ready. Show me.
I love that. I do love that aftermath where it's truly... okay,
it's like, why does my mouth taste minty?
That was so hot.
Oh, yeah. And Kyle's like, see? It works. And Clark's like, and then obviously she realizes, I just realized what I did.
I love Clark's face, though, because in a way, he is the one that was the problem. He's the one that did it.
Let's just say he proved his point. He wipes his lip. Dude, you made it so obvious.
No, there's nothing on me. You didn't do it.
She said, now don't worry. It was fine.
It
was fine, bro.
She is turning bright red at this time.
Oh, sure.
And Kyle then walks away, and he's like, oh, the party trick is over. And he still is not wanting to help because he doesn't want to ever be able to use his ability, is what this comes down to, where Kyle wants to be the hermit. He just wants to be able to stay out of everything. I don't mind Kyle.
No,
Kyle's like,
cool,
in a way,
man.
I'm a danger to society. I'd rather choose to not, to like, again, the see no evil, hear no evil type of aspect. I don't want to know. I want to be left alone.
And this is where they can relate again. Kyle's telling me, you know how bad it is to hide alone because of what you are. And Clark's like, yeah, duh. Like,
wait, Clark knows?
Yeah, of course Clark knows, dude. And so after that, I think they finally convinced him to help out with Rickman. And so Rickman shows up unannounced once again.
Hold on, I do want to say this though before we get to the Rickman unannouncement. So going back to, how does Kyle not know though that Clark is special? Let me put this in my notes. Clark hit him so hard that he flung into his trailer and dented the door.
He has to know something
Wouldn't
at this
Kyle
point,
think
'cause,
that
yeah.
Clark is something or has something? But yet it's never questioned, which to your point, that Kyle should have at least known, so then it's understandable that Kyle then goes along with him
Right,
because
right.
him and Clark are now relating on a similar level.
Mhm.
But they never say it.
Yeah, it's weird because it's completely obvious at this point.
Yeah. And again, he flung you and you dented your
He-
door.
Yeah, he literally
He's
showed up in the middle of a
14.
bat swing, like, and he got just taken out.
Exactly, and he was nowhere to be seen. So you have to realize something. Oh, so go on with your unannounced.
Yeah, and so yeah, we have Rickman showing up at the Luthor Mansion unannounced, and Lex is like, yeah, why are you here? And Rickman's saying, hey, just so you know, I dropped the whole Kent Farm thing as a proposed site. I reversed it. You can call off your lawyers. We're good, man. I'm not gonna do it.
Why did you come to Smallville? Rickman, we could have avoided this. We could have avoided everything, my
He's just
man.
hungry, man.
Stay out of Smallville. Just get out of Smallville. That's all he had to do. And instead, he's going to Lex, saying, I've dropped it. Lex, oh, I think that you've lost your touch.
Yeah. What's the matter? Lost your touch?
And he just pretty much says, at least I know where I'm not wanted, which I do like as a burn from Rickman to Lex.
For sure.
That is a nice little low blow. And if you're Lex in this scene, because now Rickman just says, oh, before I go, how about a truce?
Oh,
He sticks his hand out and he might as well, how about a touch?
This is probably his best sales call here.
I disagree. If I'm Lex, why do I touch him here? Why do I shake his
He
hand?
even contemplates it. Like, if you're gonna contemplate it, don't shake.
I don't need
At
to shake
all.
your hand.
Yeah.
I have no reason to ever shake
And
your
it's
hand.
clear that he most likely shakes it because it cuts to black for that. And so we go to the next scene. We're at a
Route
random
7
Route 7
7
gas station. Looks like a barn. And we're at a payphone.
I love the phone booth. Is that a nod to him changing into a phone booth?
Oh! First time he's in a phone booth. Okay. And so, yeah, he's calling Lex. And Lex is already kind of sounding a little weird in the convo. He sounds too calm. I don't know. It sounds weird. And so he's telling Lex, yeah, we're over here. You know, Kyle's finally going to help out. And so Lex pulls up finally to the gas station.
Okay. I don't like the car he showed up with. It's not fast enough.
This is
It's not flashy enough.
dumbest argument.
It's not flashy
The
enough.
dumbest
No,
argument.
I need no. It is. That is why it's not flashy.
This is
not
dumb.
flashy.
No.
No. No, it's
flashy.
not Lex car.
What are you, Tengen from
This is
Demon
Lex
Slayer,
Luthor.
bro?
This is Lex Luthor.
Not flashy enough. I'm not
This
even
isn't
gonna bother.
flashy.
Oh my god.
All right. So now getting back to
You
my
know what?
point.
To your point, all his other cars are two-seaters.
Oh, see, but that's flashy. That goes back to my point.
There's 3 people.
Listen, nobody wants to pick up Kyle. Hey,
Hey,
Clark, send him back in the woods.
Do you like the Zoolander scene here? So they pull up. Lex is like, yeah, I gotta fill up before we, make this trip. They get in the car.
They start making
He
jokes
locks,
with the
he locks the doors. So you're telling me Clark right there can't pull the lock up?
No, he can't.
He can't pull the lock up?
He's confused right now.
Oh, he's like, whoa. And so, yeah, Lex is having the time of his life as Zoolander.
They're still. Lex is full on just drenching
Hosing
the
it.
car.
He's just hosing
and
it.
Clark, hey, what's going on?
Is that rain? I didn't know it was gonna rain tonight.
So live.
And Kyle's even there like, that's kind of weird. And yeah.
Why is everyone just thinks it's weird that he's just dousing it with gasoline? Nobody is really like, hey, we should get out.
Clark said to Kyle, hey, before we take off from your trailer, go meet up with Lex at this payphone. You want to smoke something real quick?
Oh my God.
And he's like, oh my God, Rickman's got you, dude.
They filled the phone booth.
Yeah, they hotboxing the phone booth, dude. He's like, all right, get out. I gotta call Lex now. And so, yeah, Lex lights it up. They lit up the whole car. Yeah, he can't open it. Okay, so let me.
I'm just gonna kick it finally.
Bro,
I can't open
He
it.
could have opened the lock. I swear to God.
Oh,
bro.
now I'm just gonna tear the door
I'm
off.
tearing this whole car open.
Oh, Joseph, can you explain to me who pulls up in a silver Jaguar? Can you please tell me who pulls up?
The good businessman.
You're out of your mind. And this is why my argument proves the point. Because Rickman pulls up in the silver Jag, which is Lex, which is what Lex would be normally driving. Which goes back to my point. My idiotic point, according to my co-host, you son of a bitch.
It's stupid. It's a stupid point.
No, okay, but this is also great. Hey, yo, Lex.
And I love the part. This is what pisses me off here. This man, Rickman, no signs of foul play, really like violence, or really except for the first time he convinces the guy to kill himself. This man pulls up in the Jag. He said, "Hey Lex, it looks like you got to finish the job." Hands him an Uzi.
Uzi.
Where did he get this Uzi? He has a felony, bro.
I put in my notes ago. Is that an Uzi? Oh, take this and let me wipe my prints
I
off
know
of it.
local law
what was
enforcement ain't got the budget for some Uzis,
Yeah,
bro.
we already established that they don't have
Is
fingerprints.
that the Smallville mob? You got that from the Smallville mob?
AKA Jonathan went to prison because they don't have fingerprinting here.
Oh my god. And dude, I loved this whole thing because obviously Lex is brainwashed, and it gives us a glimpse of villain Lex. We get a nice little deep cut of, oh, Clark, because he sees Clark use his powers. He's like, oh, Clark, you've got some explaining to do, buddy. And so now he's hunting him down in this tire shop.
I agree. I agree with everything you are saying, especially with how he is acting, with his whole personality in this scene. The only thing I don't like is the Uzi.
Oh, yeah. I hate it.
Yeah, everything else, even if he had just like a simple handgun.
I would have preferred just a pistol.
Exactly, because that's more a type of Lex versus an Uzi sloppy.
Yeah.
It's not clean.
So sloppy.
Yeah,
dude.
you're everywhere.
We're Lex Luthor. We're classy.
And also, I'm clean with my shooting.
Yeah.
I'm not all over the place.
And so, I just love it because Rosenbaum, dude, he's just having fun.
By the way, it goes back to my point on Flashy. Go ahead.
And dude, Rosenbaum's just having fun in this scene, man. He's like,
Yes.
oh yeah, I knew you were keeping secrets from me, Clark. It's like, oh, what else can you do, huh?
Hey,
No.
Zach, were you not watching this episode? Were you not watching to understand who you should have hired as the Lex Luthor of your universe?
Damn it, Snyder.
It's so simple, it hurts me. By the way, Kyle has the worst hiding spot I've ever seen. So Lex walks in.
He's just sitting there.
Kyle's just sitting on the floor.
Dude, he reminds me of that kid that was surrounded by fire hydrants or fire extinguishers in his garage. That one episode.
Oh my god.
Just surrounded by a car and some tires. It's like, oh, there you are, Clark.
And then he just like pushes Kyle up, and then Kyle just like falls down.
He said, don't do this. I'm your friend, Lex. Oh, please. You think I don't see the way your parents look at me? The way half the town looks at me?
This is all true. This is actually the insecurities of Lex Luthor coming out.
Your friendship's a fairy tale, Clark. Respect and fear are the best you can hope for. God, I love that,
And
dude.
Clark is yelling at him saying that Rickman's doing this to you. There's no way you would really be acting like this.
You can learn a lot from someone you hate.
And this is where you finally get what Clark is.
Mm-hmm.
Bulletproof.
Yep. Finally. They actually show it. Yeah.
Which, instead of him going around and looking at a bullet from side to side, Clark is now being hit. And you would think after the first time, too, Clark would be like, okay, I'm okay. I just got to take these shots now. And now he just turns around.
So not only we get, like, Matrix vibes.
I love the ending with, like, the 3 special effects boy hitting his jacket.
The Matrix effects when he's trying to dodge, but also back to another Ben Stiller movie, Tropic Thunder, when he just kept getting shot over and over and over again. He's like, That's exactly what was happening.
And all the flashes.
It's like,
and he's still alive.
Yeah. So, of course, Lex realizes he's okay. He gets knocked out by Clark.
Well, Clark does his Superman push.
Yes, he does the classic push. But it also goes to the point they have to finish their mission, what they're brainwashed for. Lex is convinced he killed Clark because he just shot him so many times. So that was the whole point there. He gets knocked out. We have Rickman over here like, oh, I need to go over there. He has the pistol.
He has the pistol. So he didn't hand Lex the pistol. Instead, he took the pistol.
Yeah.
He took all of Lex's belongings and gave Lex his belongings. He gave Lex his car, and he gave Lex his gun. Because nothing that Lex did was Lex. It was all Rickman. Everything Rickman has is all of Lex's. Where now Kyle comes up, and we have finally the moment of the salesman.
Yep.
Which, Joseph, for me, I love this scene. I just wish it was more of like the Timeless movie with Justin Timberlake, where it was them sitting at a table and then putting their wrist online and going back and forth.
Like with the time.
I wish that I would have had them going, like even turning their hands like it was a thumb war.
You know,
I would have taken something like that, or at least going on with the battle. I needed more of a battle.
well, it kind of even reminded me of Push. Remember how you have the pushers?
Yeah.
They're trying to convince each other back and forth, but one is stronger than the other.
Exactly, and you have such a chaotic scene which you're truly, like, it's building and you're going crazy while watching it.
Right.
I needed more of that where it's truly just so quick, touch each other, all you see is the gun turn, gunshot, we're back now at Clark and Lex. Clark then runs out, what happened? And we see Rickman's dead.
Rickman's dead. He shot himself because Kyle persuaded him. He's Mr. Touch, technically, and he is the better salesman. That's why he won.
Well, and that's why Kyle always said that he never wanted to touch people.
I mean, make a nice pun, death of a salesman.
I hate you so much.
Got him.
Either way, and now we have... I hate you. And now we have Kyle and Clark going back and forth. Joseph, I didn't like this. Because after the scene of Clark and Kyle kind of just laughing and giggling about their friendship.
Problem solved.
We now are on the Kent farm. Why is Clark bruised?
So my thinking is that
Martha's healing his bruise, icing his bruise. Sorry, I did not describe, but he's being iced with his bruise from Martha.
Yeah, so Clark has bruises from the bullets.
I don't like that.
Dude, you got to remember he's still developing. Like, this is a matter of still being developed. He's not as fast probably as he can be still, and he's
if he was 9,
and he's never been shot.
If he was 9 years old, I would buy into it. But because he's this, so you're trying to tell me that Superman, no matter what, would always be bruised by a bullet, but because he got so muscular, that means that it now doesn't bruise him? Because here's also my thing. So with Superman Returns, we have a bullet that hits him in an eyeball.
He's a grown man.
So his eyeballs can't be bruised?
I mean, probably not. I don't know.
Listen,
why are you going to make that point? We are in Smallville universe.
I just don't like the bruises. I just don't like the bruises. All right, so now Lana shows up.
Unannounced?
I guess. So,
I guess? Are you kidding me? She does not... Okay, come on, bro. No, that's...
like the barn unannounced.
What? No.
All right.
We counted a mansion?
All
Especially if they're saying, hey, what are you doing here? Are you serious?
Okay.
That's unannounced.
So,
anyways,
why doesn't Lana say sorry?
Because she's a
woman?
Stupid idiot.
Because she's a woman. She doesn't say sorry to him because she will never admit that she was wrong. And instead, she comes over where it's essentially...
Yeah, what does she even say to him?
Well, it's essentially them going back and forth saying, okay, we have now this disagreement behind us. Let's go back to being friends.
Weak.
Where Clark then smiles and says, haha, of course. But that's not the real reason why Lana came over,
Yeah,
Joseph.
because after they do their little reconciliation and whatnot, afterwards he just smiles, blah, blah, blah. Lana goes, did Chloe really kiss you?
Boom! Which means, what did Chloe do after they kissed? She
told the whole town, dude.
She immediately ran to Lana.
I kissed Clark Kent. I kissed Clark Kent. Don't remember it.
And she immediately goes, oh my God, Lana, you'll never believe what happened to me today. I kissed Clark.
I did, not you.
Oh my God.
And then Pete's over there in the back, like crying, maybe shedding a tear or something. Like,
I have my new article for my new date.
When you get heartbroken by your best friend.
I went on a limo ride.
And so after that, Clark doesn't answer. It's clearly awkward for them. We go back to later in the day. We are at the barn. Is this not another unannounced?
We haven't unannounced. I told you, the barn is the factor.
No, Lex shows up to talk with Clark here, and basically just recapping.
Well, no, it's
what
pretty
happened.
much them just saying about the contract and what occurred, about them being able to get out of it, saying that Lex essentially took care of everything because obviously Rickman's now dead.
Yep.
So no one can go through with being able to build Rickman Industries. Especially because you would think he would have a number 2, but the problem is, if Rickman is that bad of a salesman, you know his number 2 is dog. Like, just dog shit. Just so bad.
And so yeah, they're basically just bonding here and everything, like, oh yeah, I'm glad I didn't hurt you, whatever. And of course, Lex, I wonder where Kyle is now. And Clark kind of goes into the whole thing of what Kyle even mentioned earlier. He's like, hey, it's strange that they were once best friends, and they're enemies now, and obviously what happened. You think we'll ever end up like that? And what does Lex say?
Well, no, I actually like, because he says that our friendship is the stuff of legend, where that's not answering the question.
It really isn't.
He didn't answer the question. He didn't say yes or no.
It would have been better as, like, our relationship is going to be stuff of legend, because friendship, obviously, they're not going to remain friends forever.
Well,
I just love the pan out.
oh wait. Maybe they do in a way. I mean, All-Star Superman did have Lex and him bonding when Lex was in prison. Clark Kent came and interviewed him. So
You know what I would say? They always respect each other.
yeah. There is some type of
There's
weirdness
a
because even
level
in
of
that
respect.
storyline, even in some of the Superman comics, in a way, Lex has acknowledged Clark Kent in the past.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate the more closeness that Smallville does bring us between the two. Which now
for sure.
we have our credits.
Yep.
We
It pans
have
out with them at the barn, just overlooking the view, and that's it. That's the credits. That's Hug. That was Hug. Did you see a single hug in this episode?
This is Touch.
Touch me.
Touch me.
And so, I mean, other than that, we already went over a lot of the fun facts just during the episode, which was cool.
Well, it played out a lot,
it
which
re-
is what I mean, though, about what Smallville need to do, which is why the flying thing at the beginning with Lana doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And so, the other fun fact, I guess, just on the actors, like Rickman, this is kind of going back to the whole thing of being, nerds or something. This man was in one episode of Agent Carter. He played a frequent character named Elliot in Dexter, and he was in the Aquaman pilot as well.
By the way, have you ever watched the Aquaman pilot?
No.
I have seen that.
Is it bad?
It's on HBO.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, it really is. There's one pilot episode, and it's the guy from Smallville that does it.
Mhm.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really bad, but it's because they try to make Smallville, but in the beach atmosphere.
Oh,
and
God.
it's so bad because the characters are so hateable. Like, you
Yeah.
just hate them so much, where you don't care about anything that happens to them. It's pretty intense first episode, though.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pilot. It's got to be somewhat intense.
Whenever we finish our 10 seasons, we'll get to that.
Yeah. And so, just other things, like he was in Heroes. He was even all the way back in one episode of Full House back in the day, bro.
Whoa, boy, everywhere you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Everywhere.
And what's cool about the dude who played Kyle, he played a reoccurring character in True Blood. We have another True Blood person.
Which seasons are we talking?
He, I'm assuming, I'm not sure he played Calvin Norris. I don't know if you remember a Calvin.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I saw it was like 8 episodes.
Man, that had to be later seasons. First 3 seasons, man, I loved me some
He
True Blood.
played one of the robbers in SWAT.
Yeah. Oh my.
Yeah, my boy Colin Farrell, Sam L, LL Cool J.
You broke the hold.
And yeah, no, it's cool. Just like there's little fun facts. Like he was in Black Hawk Down too. It's cool, man. Like I love it. I love it. Especially that stunt guy, that cop.
And damn it, you shot a hostage.
Dude, that's it for me. You got anything, bro?
No, I didn't have anything. Because my whole acknowledgement, I wanted to just bring a lot of comic book. The only thing that I got is that I had to Kill a Mockingbird.
Which is so cool.
I love the concept.
Because it could even work still in this universe because, he learned about the movie and the book from Lex, so he ends up watching it, and it's like, wow, this is actually my favorite
movie. And it does become his favorite after Lex recommends it.
That's what I'm saying. That'd be so awesome, dude. So, it's cool how they play on that, but, I mean, we're pretty much done. We got next episode, Leech.
I'm excited for it. This was better than Rogue, though, at least for Filler Tuesday-wise.
Hug was better.
I would take Hug over Rogue.
Yeah, for sure. We got Leech next episode. We got the boy Sean Ashmore guest appearing, playing a nice villain. He's going to be a nice villain. So, tune in next time.
I hate Lana.